Are any of you like me and after watching the John Wick movies, you thought, man, I really want a suit that John Wick would wear? Well, I've got one here. This is from Grayman Company. This is a new suit that I'm gonna be talking about. It's got a lot of really cool features, things that John Wick would be proud of. And I'm a little bit out of my element here. Usually I'm sitting, but in this video, we're gonna be going over all the cool features with this suit and how you can get one for yourself. Well, let's not waste your time. Let's just get out of the range. Let's shoot this thing. Let's see how bulletproof this is and if it could protect you in a situation if you were in with John. I'm just kidding. This isn't bulletproof. That would be absolutely awesome. This is stab resistant, which is really neat. But if it's bulletproof, I'm sure it would be super clunky and heavy and not look nearly as good as it does. But this is actually a tailored suit and you do it all online. But we'll wait till a little bit later in the video to talk about that and how that process went and the consulting that goes into making a suit like this and making it for the person, because they're all individually made. This isn't something you can just go buy, pick out a suit and you're like, I want that one, and they just send it to you and it's pre-made. They make this for the individual, so each suit is different, which is really neat. But what I think is more important, let's go over all the features. I think that's what a lot of you are going to be more interested, and then we'll talk about that process for those of you that are interested in sticking around. So there's a whole list of features that this suit has. We're going to go over each one. One of the coolest one is the action back. It just sounds cool. It has an action back feature, and what that means is, as you can see here in the back, is you have these cuts on either side of your shoulders, and what that allows you to do is have a lot of movement. So I'm able to actually cross my arms really comfortably. I can touch my shoulders and give myself a hug if I want to, feeling real sad. But you're able to draw your gun and manipulate it that way. You're able to move your hands and fight somebody if you wanted to. Yes, that is exactly how I fight. I tell you what, it gives me all the movement in this thing. But you have a ton of movement that does not allow in other suits. A lot of suits you're just like, like you're like stuck there. Like you go to pick your kids up and you're like, oh man, I can't move you. You know, with this, you have the movement. Obviously, is made for those situations of being able to manipulate a firearm or control somebody or fight somebody if you want to. But what's cool about it is you can also actually drive. You can do a U-turn and move in this suit. You're able to bend down and tie your shoes. You're able just to do a lot more in this suit without being so clunky and uncomfortable. And that is the design of that action back. It not only sounds cool, it actually functions really nicely. And something I wish all my suits that I have would adopt in their suits. So it's something that I think is really neat that they thought of when it comes to like a suit that's going to be used. I think these are really used more by the prepared individual that are using all the features that the suit has that wants you to be able to actually access those things. Because it's really cool if you can have this fancy suit to be able to draw from and have a firearm hidden and all your tools in the pockets. But if you can't actually get to them super conveniently or shoot your gun comfortably because you're like shooting like this because you can't move your arms, you know, you're able to actually manipulate your stuff easier. And to me, that's one of the coolest things about the suit. Now, the rest of these features I'm gonna be talking about are all optional. You can pick and choose which ones you want, and they will help you and consult with you to design the suit that makes sense for you. So some of these you're like, I don't really need that. Some of them are like, no, I absolutely want that. So you'll be able to pick and choose. This is just going over all the features that they have. Some of these I don't even have on this suit, but I just wanted to discuss and show you guys what all the options were. Another one is the Velcro panels that they have in different places on the suit. That way you can put insignias or patches, or if you're law enforcement, a badge on. That way, if you do have to draw your firearm and use that when anybody responding is not looking at you and saying, oh, that's just some random dude with a gun, or that's the guy with a gun that they called about, you have a way to at least identify yourself with those, and they're designed in the suit. That way you're not like sewing your stuff in and making it look goofy. Now, before we get too far, this video is conveniently sponsored by Anson Belt, which is perfect because I want to do this video and a belt. I'm not taking my pants off here, but I want to show you the belt. These things are pretty freaking sweet. They have a ratcheting system. That way you can clip them in just like that, and then you can adjust them a lot easier, make micro adjustments that way. You're able to choose from a bunch of different belt buckles and belts themselves. So this one works really nice for the suit. I also have some other ones as well. So this one I thought was cool. You know, I took a chance on this one. This is a little unique, obviously. So I got some like gator skin boots and I was like, dude, what would be cooler than like a belt that looks like this? So I got it. I think it's sweet. I know some of you, it might not be your taste. As long as my wife likes it, that's all I really care. But you can change the belts, the buckles, and actually got a third one as well. It comes in 3 packs. You can get like a combo set if you want to, which is really neat. There's a link in the description if you guys are interested. Anson belts, get different belts for different suits, different styles. Check out Anson Belt. Appreciate them for being a big support for the channel and being a huge support for my pants, because I am a skinny guy and I don't have hips. So them actually being able to get my pants on is super beneficial, not only for me, but for you guys, the viewers, because I'm sure you guys appreciate my pants not dropping halfway through this video. So the next one is going to be, there are tons of pockets in this thing for you to be able to put whatever items that you want. You can put knives, you can put pins, you got a bunch of different options to be able to carry stuff. For those of you that are super prepared and like to carry a lot of stuff, or you like EDC dudes that are like, I love having everything I can physically carry, you have a lot of options with this suit. Now with me, I have a longer torso, so they gave me this extra pocket here just to be able to break this up. And that's just another thing with that customization and personalization is they're like, hey, listen, like, you could go with a normal traditional suit without one pocket, but with your size of torso, it makes more sense to break up the size. And with where I carry here on my hip, mainly because of my job, that's where I draw from all the time. So I don't like having different draw motions to keep it consistent. So I keep my concealed carry gun pretty much in the same spot where my work gun is. And with this, it breaks up that length. You know, when you have just a plain sleek jacket, any kind of bulge is going to be showing. That's why when they had stuff like this, it helps hide that. So it's just a good thing for concealability. There's also hidden handcuff key pockets all over this as well. Your jacket, you can have them in your pants as well. So if you ever get into that situation, you could have the access to be able to get out if you want to. Now this is, again, might be overkill for some of you. And again, it's options. You don't have to do all these things. Some of you might be like, holy crap, dude, like, listen, like, I'm not going into war. I'm not doing some like high-end protection, or I'm not in law enforcement, and that's okay. This could just be a suit that you're like, dude, I just want to go conceal carry, but I want to have options and other cool stuff. I don't necessarily need the handcuff keys. I don't think I'm probably going to get abducted. You don't need that option. It's just cool that they offer it as well, and they're really thinking about different things that you might need in any kind of situation. So handcuff keys might be interesting for some of you might not be. Just don't choose that option. Another one of those options that those of you that aren't using this for work won't really appreciate, but those of you using this for work are really going to like. It has wire cable management inside of it. So you're able to run your wires from your radio to your earpiece and be able to do that without having wires hanging down or tying them up or taping up wherever you want to do with them. You're able to run it through the suit because it's managed through that, because it's designed to have those inside of it. So just another little feature that they were doing to be able to make this as beneficial as possible for those of you that are going to be working with it. That's something for those of you that are using this for work and for just the everyday carry person. They have pockets in the pants that are designed to be able to carry extra mags, even AR-15 mags. So if you're carrying your handgun and you're like, oh, I usually personally carry like the Neo mag. It's like a little pocket clip carry that you can put in your pocket and be able to reload. They actually have them designed in the trousers themselves. So you can put them in, and they design them to be a little bit big on you. That way you can put your gun, you can put your extra mags, and then you can just tighten your belt to make it fit. It's not meant to be super tight on you, and they do that for a reason. But I think that is so neat that you're able just to keep your magazines in your actual pants themselves without having to worry about the extra bulk or anything else added. You don't have to worry holsters or anything like that. It's already designed into the pants. All right, now this one is just cool, and where it really makes it like that John Wick style is it has cut resistant sleeves. So for those of you that are worried you might get in a knife fight or an axe fight, I had to show you guys this. I had to feature this at some point in this video, and it was a perfect segue to show you the Provoke X. Full video here if you guys want to see that, but gosh dang it, that is cool. What a combination, the suit plus this axe. Okay, I'm done. Sweet axe, it's pretty cool. But for those of you that are worried that you have the ability to have the resistance of not getting slashed or stabbed, and it prevents that. Now, are you going to be able to prevent yourself from just stabbing away? No, it's probably going to go through, but we'll offer you the added protection. Kind of one of those things where I'd rather have it and not need it, and wish I really had it and not have it. A couple other little ones. There's a little pocket in here for you to put a weight in. That way, when you go to draw, it's the same draw each time. That flies out of the way, and then you have access to your gun. A lot of people put like a coin or a challenge coin in that. And then you have the quick draw button. I don't have this one, but you're able to clip the button, and you have normal buttons everywhere else, but it quick draws and you're able to have access. Apparently quick draw too hard, I yeeted my mic. But you're able to pull that out of the way quickly and not having to fiddle with that button if you don't want to. Two other features, you have holster liner. That way it doesn't tear up the inside of your clothes, which all of us know if you carry a lot, you know that it can mess up your clothing. And then it has an RFID pocket. That way you can put your stuff in there and not worry about someone sliding by and taking your information if that's important to you. Again, these are all options. You can choose them, you can take them out. That's where the process and the consulting comes in, which we're gonna talk about now. I actually forgot to mention this. I always try to do this earlier. My relationship with the Grayman Company, they did reach out to me. They gave me this suit for free. Did not spend my own money on it. I always like to make sure I'm transparent with that with you guys. But reach out to me, checked it out online, went through all their listings and options. I was like, oh my God, I was overwhelmed, man. So we set up a phone call. That's where the consulting came in. He was like, all right, I understand. They're like, a lot of our customers are just kind of overwhelmed and don't really know what they want. I was like, yeah, I'm kind of in that boat. So I gave an idea of what I wanted. I'm like, this is where I want to wear this. This is the kind of stuff I want to wear it to. This is the job that I do. This is the things I plan on carrying. This is what I do and where I go. And then from there, they started like working their minds. They're the ones that are professionals. You know, they know what they're doing. I don't know how to make suits. I don't know what's a good option. You know, I started with a Kohl's Special was my suit for a long time and slowly have upgraded since then. But this is by far the absolute nicest suit that I own. So I'm not a professional in this, and they made it so easy. And that was really neat for me because I was incredibly nervous because I was like, dude, I'm going to make this suit and I am going to make it so ridiculous. They didn't allow me to do that. If I was in control, I probably would have been, but they were able to talk me through the whole process and go over everything. And then what we did is my wife took pictures of me standing in different angles, sent it to them. They did measurements. They then sent me a like mock suit to try on, then take more pictures, and then they were able to do some adjustments. From there, then they made the suit, they shipped it to me, and I was shocked with how well they did with the tailoring. I thought at first, I was like, okay, this is gonna take a while. Like they're gonna send me a bunch of them to make adjustments and make sure this fits the exact way that I want to, but they did an incredible job with this thing. I love the action back, one of my favorite features, and whenever I put on my older suits, my other suits, I'm like, gosh dang it, I can't move in this dumb thing. Like it's irritating, so I just wanna wear this one. But for those of you that are like, I don't know anything about suits and you're kind of intimidated by the process, it can be, but don't be, because they work with you through the whole process. They set up exactly what you want, and I am incredibly happy with how this turned out. So much so that I really want to do another one. Like the whole process was fun. I really want to do another one. I want to do like a more like modern, sleek, or I want to do like the complete opposite. I want like pinstripe, like gangster style. I want to get like a Tommy gun and go full out on that. But really fun process. They have a lot of options, and I highly recommend you guys go check them out and try it yourself and see what you guys think. Or hopefully from this video, you're able to make a better purchase decision, decide maybe this isn't exactly what I'm looking for, because they are expensive. It's not a cheap process, but that is always my goal in these videos, is to help you make that better purchase decision, to decide confidently, yes, I want this, or confidently, this isn't exactly what I'm looking for. All right, I have to say, this is a little different standing. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. I didn't really know what to do with my hands at first, but I think we're figuring out. Let me know if you guys like the standing style. You guys can see some of the guns. You can see the P90 and some of the different ones that are up on the wall. But if you guys are looking to help with the channel, things I do here is a lot of ways to do that. Going to my website, tacticaladvisor.net, is a huge help. Subscribing to my subscription list, checking out the other links in there that are incredibly helpful for you and me, and you guys will love that stuff, and you'll find a lot of things that are really interesting. Checking out on Rumble, I do a lot of stuff there. I'm really doing a lot there because they let me say a lot more things. They let me like link things and do things. You know, I have to be really vague about what I say here on YouTube, and I apologize for that. Checking out Howitzer Clothing, they donate 5% of proceeds to charity, and you can use code TA15. That'll save you 15% on your order, and that is limitless. Use as much as you want. Share it with your friends. I've been wearing their clothes for like 7 years now. I love their stuff, and they have a Tactical Advisor shirt, which is even cooler. I always like to end my videos on a Bible verse. I find it incredibly important, and I'm continuing my study on the Old Testament, and at times I can find it kind of dull, kind of boring at times, and I'm trying to find ways to keep myself entertained and reading more, especially when it comes to like the genealogies and like the Psalms. You know, they're incredibly important. I think it's definitely something you should read, but if you just go down, sit down and read the Psalms all day, every day, you're gonna get incredibly bored and probably start to not read as much as you want to. So a way that I found that is really helpful, that a friend of mine told me about, was read your normal chapters. So usually what I like to do is do a minimum of 3 chapters a day. So you'll read 3 chapters and then stop there and then read a proverb and then read a psalm. And then the next day do that, and then carry that on all the way through the Bible, Old Testament, New Testament. And then if you finish your Psalms and if you finish your Proverbs, restart. If you finish the Bible, restart and run through that process. That way you're getting through the Psalms, you're getting through the Proverbs, but you're not just sitting down and reading each Psalm over and over and over. Again, incredibly important, but I think it's more important to actually learn what you're reading, not just reading it to check something off. And when you're doing all the Psalms in a row like that, it can kind of get that way pretty quickly. So I think it's important to read one at a time, really study, really dive into it, but also still be able to read different parts and different passages, and it keeps it more entertaining that way. It's really important, guys. This is the living, breathing Word of God, and one of the most important things I can ever share with you guys. I didn't care about you guys, I wouldn't share this. I love you all, and I appreciate you so much.